Let's bring in Georgia Congressman Richard McCormick. He's a member of the House Foreign Affairs and Armed Services Committee. Congressman, first your initial reaction to Trey's reporting this morning.
This is bad stuff. Whenever you do urban warfare, as we learned in Ramadi and other places, it is going to be nasty stuff. It's very dangerous for even highly trained soldiers. They're being very innovative. They have some really neat techniques that they're using right now, but there is no getting around it. There's going to be civilian casualties. There's going to be great IDF forces are going to be dying in massive amounts, and it's going to get very ugly.
Yeah, well, Iran's foreign minister is threatening the United States while on American soil. This was last week. He said that U.S. forces, quote, will not be spared if this war expands beyond Israel and Gaza. Vice President Kamala Harris then sending this message to Iran last night in an interview. Watch this.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word. Pretty straightforward.
Congressman, your reaction to that?
Well, first of all, it's not the message, but the messenger that's all wrong. Biden's incredibly weak. Kamala's incredibly weak. Can you imagine this happening on the watch of Reagan or Trump? There's no way. I have 7 children, and I know that my children would never act out in front of me. But when you have weak leadership, when you have a weak parent, when you have anybody who's weak, and I've been in the military for 20 years, there's certain commanders you just don't mess with. Biden's not one of those people. He's just weak, and that's why we're getting attacked on all fronts. To actually threaten us on our own soil, are you kidding me? That guy should be out of here in no time. There should be clear indicators that there are consequences to your words and to your actions. I remember when we attacked Libya, Reagan never warned, he just did it. And he showed people he's not messing around.
Yeah, well, and again, obviously, because of the tensions in the Middle East, of course, they need to come in and say something. But her just to say don't was a little weak. That's just my opinion. But I've got a former Georgia congressman and, of course, a veteran as well, Doug Collins, on set with me. I believe you two know each other, so I'll just step aside. Doug, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Rich. Good to see you. Hey, one of the things, too, is we should also take away that visa right now. He should go home. I mean, again, he can make those speeches, political speeches from Tehran. 2 things, Rich, and you and I both know this from service in Iraq. This is for people to get a context of Gaza, this is Fallujah even at a higher level. And I think we need to make people understand that. But also the second part, how much is a concern on Capitol Hill about as Israel moves more into Gaza, the Lebanon Hezbollah faction, which has said they would act proportionately, would play into this?
Having a second front is exactly what we're worried about. Not just there, but also remember we have cruise missiles coming in from Yemen. Yep. This could get really ugly with Syria involved, Lebanon, obviously Gaza. Luckily, we do have some good allies in that region, but having a 2-front war is a very real possibility. Having Iran escalate both in verbiage as well as in the way that they're supplying these folks is inexcusable. We have a significant problem that could really tip off a world war, considering the number of people that Iran is supporting in all kinds of countries.
Well, you're on foreign affairs, so let me ask you this. I mean, obviously we have this carrier strike group that has moved into the region, and the thinking, I'm assuming, but you tell me, is that by having those aircraft carriers there, that is not so much a message to Hamas, that's a message to Iran and also to Jordan, that we're there and that we are backing Israel.
We are there. It is not just a deterrence, though. They are actually shooting down missiles that are coming inbound. They are also a target, though. By being a deterrence and being strength in theater, they also can be targeted. We remember back in the day, Tripoli was hit with a mine. We've had actually troops attacked that have gone there as deterrence before. So these troops are in harm's way. Keep them in your prayers because this could escalate very rapidly.
All right. Liz Peek, go ahead.
Congressman, I've read that there have been over 80 attacks on American facilities over the last 2.5 years since Joe Biden became president. Obviously, that has ramped up here in the midst of this conflict. We have hit back, according to Jake Sullivan, by bombing 2 warehouses. What is your response or your view of that being an appropriate kind of response to stepped up antagonism from Iran?
If you come after us, you're dead. That is the appropriate response. My understanding is when we hit that site, nobody got out. We had reapers overhead too, and if you escaped from there, we would see you. we would take you out. There should be no excuse. You attack our American troops, you're dead. That's the message I would have. And I don't think there's any way to get away. And I think our intelligence is very good. We should be coming out in the wholeheartedly. There should be consequences to everything you do. And oh, by the way, leadership also puts our people here in America at risk. When you have 1.7 getaways, 1.7 million getaways in America, if you're a terrorist trying to get into America, you know you're going to be trying to hide out. You're going to be doing something bad to us. Biden's policies are all wrong for our safety.
But well, we have a border czar. You know, not to make light.
She says don't
we?
Don't.
Actually, that's what they said about coming across the border.
Yeah,
don't. Didn't work then. It's not working now.
Well.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, Congressman Richard McCormick, I will keep Doug Collins in line for you here in New York, okay?
No
Good
chance.
luck.
No chance. No
There you
chance,
go.
buddy.